Welcome to Marsha's Plate, a Black trans-inclusive feminist podcast. A place where we know that not everybody is invited to the cookout. And we also know that every single day is a brand new day, and we have the power to make a difference today. So let's do this.
It's a new day, brand new day, make it better than yesterday. You can always find a way to turn it all around again. It's a new day, brand new day, make it better than yesterday. You can always find a way to start over again. When the sun rises, you can start over again. A new day, you can make it better than yesterday. It's a new day, it's a new day, new day. There's a way you can turn it around. Trust me, there's a way out. There's more time. Just don't give up. When the sun rises on a new day, you got another chance. Yeah, 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 yeah. A new day, you got another chance.
If you want to join the conversation, you can hashtag Marsha's Plate. You can follow us on most social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all of that. Just search for Marsha's Plate, MARSHASPLATE. Y'all ready? Let's get started.
Hey, what's up, y'all?
Hey. What's going on, honey?
So I've been having some issues on the dating side of my life. Not any negative, but I've been having, let me think, what is it? So I date all the time. I meet people and we go out to dinner or, just
You're casual. You're a casual dater, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
I am a casual dater. I will go out and have a good time. I like going to a lounge. I like going to somewhere, even like after hours and just chilling and having fun and kikiing with somebody that I enjoy the company of. Or, I don't know them and I'm going out on a date for the first time and seeing what they're like and stuff like that. So I do that all the time with no intention of being in a relationship in regards to that. It's just really that, oh, I'm bored and let's see if I match with this person. And so, but recently I've been having issues with conversation, like just not weird conversation, but lackluster conversation. So my rule of engagement on the internet is if we can't talk back and forth on the internet, not on the phone, if we can't, we'll never get to the phone. Like if there's not an easy flow with talking back and forth when it comes to online, I'm never going to be like, oh, let me give you my number. And some people are like, well, I just feel like I have a better personality on the phone. And that may be true, but that just doesn't work for my engagement. Because if I just gave, and this is my lived experience, when I was younger, if somebody said, oh, let me get your number, I would just give my number because in my brain, logically, it was, oh, this just makes it go faster and we can talk on the phone and da-da-da-da-da. Which that may be true, but what was happening is I would give my number so much that random people would be texting me dick pictures. Random people would be calling me. I gave you my number a week ago, and I gave you my number 2 weeks ago, and then 2 weeks later, oh, you gave me your number on MySpace. I'm like, who the fuck are you? Why you wait this fucking long to call me? And all that kind of weird ass shit. So I'll get all of these random people calling me and blah, 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 blah. And it started being weird. So when I started to be more selective about who I gave my number to, I started having way more success in connection because I'm being selective by having that barrier of you at least have to be consistent for a week or two in talking to me online. That lets me know you're interested instead of just being a fucking weirdo creep. And so recently I had this conversation with this guy where I'm telling him, well, I give him my rules of engagement and we kind of chat, but his conversation is dry as fuck. It's like, oh, sweetie, your conversation is dry as fuck. And so I don't think we really match. And he was like, how you know we don't match if we ain't even talked on the phone? You need to, I can tell that this vibe is not, I, and I'm the type that, okay, I see you don't know how to lead a conversation. So let me lead a conversation. And then in our situation, it ended up with, I'm sharing all this stuff and he's just like, oh, I think that's dope.
Through text message.
Yeah. Oh, I think that's dope. Instead
And see,
of sharing something about himself.
yeah. See, for me, I it could go a lot of different ways. Because I've come across different things and also my own personal experience. I've come across people who were illiterate. And that's why they prefer talking on the phone. That they just weren't great at reading and writing. And sometimes they wouldn't understand what the hell I was texting to them. And also, it could be a thing where he thinks that maybe his voice is his quality, where he thinks he the one with the voice. Maybe people tell him his voice is sexy or his voice has gotten him girls before, and so he think, oh, if you talk to him and you get into this voice, if you like the way I look, you gonna love my voice. And I think that that could be a factor as well. But for me, ultimately, if somebody is inconsistent when it comes to communicating, and somebody claims, for anybody who claims that they're genuinely interested in getting to know me and they're inconsistent with communication, to me, that's a sign of instability. And I have been that person. And it could be various signs of instability. It could be or various forms of instability. It could be instability as in that person themselves just has a lot going on in life and they not even really in a position to date. They're not even ready to date.
You don't have
Um,
time. You don't have, yeah.
or it could be instability in their attraction to you. You know, it could be maybe the way I'll take it is that you're not really that intimate. Like if I give you my number and it takes you a long time to communicate with me, or if you're falling off before we can even go on the first date, or before we can even truly get to know each other, then I've got an impression that you've lost interest through, throughout getting to know each other. That's naturally the way I'm going to take it. Me personally, um, I'm very secure in the sense that everybody's not going to be into me. I'm very secure in the idea that everybody who's physically attracted to me isn't going to be into me, might not be into my personality, might not be into various things about me, might hate my voice and just like the way that I looked in pictures. But I'm still going to give it the benefit of the doubt. Unless I lose interest, and I definitely will lose interest if the inconsistency is consistent. I don't know
I'm,
if that makes sense.
yeah, I take it as that too. Like you either are disinterested and you just hit me up because you're hitting everybody up and I just so happen to match with you. Or and also one thing that a guy would do or say something along the lines, oh, here's my number. I'm not on here all the time. The shit like that, like I don't like that. Like if I tell you up front that I require you to talk to me for a consistent amount of time, and we're not talking about, oh, we need to be talking on this app for a month. I'm talking about like a week or two where
It shouldn't matter, even if your boundary is talking on the app for a month. If somebody is genuinely into you, that's not a big ask. If somebody is genuinely available and genuinely into you, that's not a big ask. You still have direct contact to me. And am I responsive when you hit me up through this app? I think a lot of times when you come across that shit on dating apps, when you come across dudes hitting you with that, oh, I'm not on here much. Again, I go back to my own personal experience. That's probably somebody who don't want to be seen on this app, or don't want to be on this, don't want to get caught on this app, or somebody who doesn't have a living situation where they can comfortably be on this app. If I'm making sense, in my experience, those have been the dudes who have had baby mamas. Those have been the dudes who have quote unquote lived with their exes. Those have been the DL dudes. Those have been the married dudes. Yeah, you don't. Yeah, you spend a lot of time on this app actually, but you're just not consistently on this app because you don't know when you got to log in and log out. And you could easily save me as McDonald's in your phone. Just using that for example. But I don't know. I feel like I grew up around too many niggas, and I grew up around, and I still have spent my life around too many butch queens and just too many men in general, um, to understand how a testosterone driven mind tends to maneuver when it comes to romance and dating.
I feel like, uh, yeah, that's my experience too in regards to like usually you on some bullshit. If you on some, especially they say something like, "Oh, I'm not really into the social media thing." That is always fucking bullshit. So I'm somebody who consider dating apps and apps like Instagram and apps like TikTok. I consider all of that social media, and so I think some
Mhm.
people separate like an Instagram type app and like a POF or Hinge type app. They separate. They don't think that that's social media, but I consider it all social media. And so when you say I'm not into social media, then bitch, why the fuck are you here? If you're not into apps and the internet and online stuff, get the fuck off of here. Go to a fucking bar, go to a fucking lounge, go to a fucking event where you can meet people. If you're not into this form of communication, get the fuck out of my fucking inbox. Don't try to rush me and change my pace or my rules of engagement because you don't fucking do social media. Because every single time I'd be like, hey, yo, what's your Instagram? They act like they don't have Instagram, and then I'll find out they do have a fucking Instagram. But then when you go to the page, it's family, kids that they said that they didn't have, or baby mama, and all this kind of bullshit. You on some bullshit. And so,
I'm too
yeah,
I'm too good. I'm too good at tracking people. They don't even I used to come across stuff like that, but nowadays, well, of course nowadays I'm not single, but when I was still dating my current partner and I was still on dating apps and communicating with other people and stuff like that, um the only people who would try and play with my face were people who clearly didn't know me from social media. People who clearly didn't know me from social media. If somebody recognized me, I got one or two responses. They either gonna block me, ignore me, or they gonna hit me up straight from the door, letting me know, oh, I know who you is, bitch. You know what I mean? But I wasn't typically getting no playing around. But no, it's all of that is red flags to me. For example, you said how a lot of them would be like, oh, I don't do social media. I don't do social media like that. And then, claim they ain't got no Instagram and this, that, and the third. And somebody in particular just popped up in my mind, a black trans guy who I was seeing when I was still single. Honey, I don't be on Instagram like that. I don't be on IG. Come to find out the nigga had been following me. Honey, come to find out he had been knew who I was. Come to find out he know who all the girls is. And for him not to be on social media, he know all the girls that's popular on social media. Like, oh nigga, I guess it's just a coincidence. Like, fuck out of here. Like, they is the biggest thing that I've learned with my experience in dating men. When they want you, when they're serious about you, they not gonna give you no space. Like they're going to be up under your ass and they're going to take every opportunity to get to you. Um, if they're a driven nigga, the only thing that's going to come before getting to you is going to be a coin. The only thing that's going to keep you from them is going to be a coin. Um, but yeah, in my experience, if a man truly wants you, he's willing to move the moon and the stars to at least get a serious chance with your ass.
have you heard about this situation with speaking of dating? Have you heard about this situation with Andy Cohen?
Yes, girl, honey. And that messy ass Robert. Um, the logo, the gay dating show, the gay male dating show that they had on logo called Finding Prince Charming, the quote unquote Prince Charming, Robert. honey, decided to go on the internet and air Andy Cohen for being on this dating app, even though Andy Cohen just recently came out as being in a relationship. So he goes on, the boy Robert from Finding Prince Charming. He goes on a rant online about cheaters and liars, and he posts screenshots that he has sent to Andy's boyfriend and all this, and he did all this under the guise of exposing cheaters and liars and this, that, and the third. I personally, girl, think it was all bullshit because keep in mind the dating app that he saw Andy on, or that he conversed with Andy on, was a dating app that's known for ethical non-monogamy, that's known for polyamory. Everybody knows that Andy Cohen is a hoe. Honey, he told on himself when he told you that he couldn't get Anderson Cooper. Anderson Cooper told you that, yeah, we meant to be friends. Like how can you be friends with somebody who you don't want to be a partner with? Because they're a hoe, bitch, and you don't trust them and they can't be trusted, bitch. But anyway, yeah, I think that was all BS, honestly, to get for Robert to get some attention and to get back in the headlines. Maybe he has a personal gripe against Andy. I really don't give a fuck, honestly, about what none of them cracker boys got going on, because both of them give me very problematic white man, um, very problematic gay white man. And I don't have time to get into the details of why on neither one of them. But I do have time to tell you that this whole incident then got me thinking about gay dating shows. You know, I live for a gay dating show moment. Girl, I lived for Finding Prince Charming. I lived for the little season that they had on Netflix with the queer women. I watches Pop the Damn Balloon, the queer Pop the Balloon, honey. I watches the new the other trans dating show that they got on YouTube now, honey. I'm curious. Am I alone? Are you interested in queer dating shows? Are you interested in us having a queer dating show? Would you watch? Is my first question.
I would not watch because I'm not a fan of watching dating shows. I always think dating shows are performative. I always think that people are just going on them just to be on television. And and whatever the dynamic of the show is, it feels like people are just using it as a platform to get attention and kind of grow to something else. Um, yeah, that's what I see. So I never really take it seriously. And when it comes to queer folks, I never seen it done in a way that is thoughtful and interesting. So I wouldn't watch it unless I haven't found one that I just thought was fire.
Well, honey, I disagree, but of course, I live for a dating show. The only tea with me at this point is that I'm getting bored with the straight narrative. I'm getting bored with the cis hetero narrative on the dating shows. I mean, it's they finally realized that they need to spice it up by adding more people of color. They finally realized that they should spice it up by adding various age groups. At one time, they was even trying to do some reality show shit. I don't know if it ever came out, but they were trying to do it where it was very pedophilic and predatory. Like people was dating specifically out of their age groups, like multiple decade gaps. But anyway, Hollywood realizes that the people are getting bored as well. I think if there's anything left in the dating reality TV pool arena, I think it's queer. I think it's queer. I think that we are really the only stone left unturned completely. Um, Even Finding Prince Charming, for example, has had multiple seasons and might even still be currently airing in some countries. After we did it in America, we stopped, but other countries picked it up. Other queer friendly countries picked it up. Of course, we had I Love You, Bobby Purr, and that was a key.
It
And
just
but it
felt
was
like it was ridiculous. It didn't. It felt like it was ridiculous.
girl, they do be ridiculous. That do be, girl. I ain't gonna lie to you, Diamond. Before I had found this partner, honey, before I decided to give this relationship a try, girl, I was considering. I was trying to get on dating reality. I was trying to go on there and be a damn fool with everybody else. Why not? Honey, and help promote myself and help promote a platform. I was gonna go in there and be performative. However, I can't do anything without some form of sincerity to it, right? So for me, realistically, I would have been single. I would never go on a dating show if I'm exclusively dating somebody, if I'm seriously dating somebody, or if I'm in a relationship or marriage, which we have all seen on dating reality shows before. People have been married, have been in relationships, honey, all types of stuff. Even with I Love You, Bobby Purr, for example. One of the boys on there was in a relationship with a cisgender woman.
Give me 10 people you would cast that are from the internet on a queer dating show.
To date me, or that I just think would be good for the show?
Good TV.
Oh my God. Plenty of these people are already familiar. Since New York claims that she's non-binary, you got to throw her in there. Honey, Bobby Lights.
Is that real though? I would love for New York to be the host.
Or a friend of, something, maybe on a judges panel or something. Anyway.
Like the mentor.
Yeah.
That would be a key.
That would be a fallout, bitch. But no, definitely rest in peace to Roland Ray. I wish he could be here. He would be perfect. But Bobby Lights, of course. Oh, a lot of mine would be trans girls. Sexy Lexi, Kelly, Tamaya, the whole free bands gang. Jocelyn, Saucy Santana. Who else? Dre Baby. Dre Baby. Dre Baby. Who are you thinking? Who you got in mind?
Cherry.
Oh, yeah, perfect.
Cherry would be one.
Akasha too. Akasha, the other one, her and Cherry like clash. They like each other's rivals, I think.
Do you know Jade?
Jade who?
Lesbian Jade. I don't know her last name. Is it Jade? It's not Jade Fox. She's a lesbian. They have a podcast. It's new. I don't know the name of it. She is a brown-skinned, short lesbian woman. It's something about her that I think would make good TV, and I feel like her being on there would be cool. Who's the light-skinned, ignorant lesbian with the dreads from Florida or something?
You talking about Woody Woo?
Yeah, that's a good TV. I think
the bitch that was just talking crazy about trans people.
Yes.
She would, no shade, she would be cool. You know who I think is probably an unexpected one that I think would be good TV? Caden Coleman. I think he would stir the pot. And I think he would have mess going behind the scenes.
I feel like Caden would be drunk. I feel like Caden would be drunk all the time, going off on people. Yeah, I think that'd be good TV. Yeah.
Who I had somebody else had popped in my head too, but I forgot. You got anybody else in mind?
Any Mass boys? Oh, no, because they married.
Who married?
I was gonna say like OBO. You gotta throw some fine ass niggas in there. OBO and his husband, but they married, so that wouldn't be good.
Who's OBO? I
don't Jones. You don't know who OBO Jones is? Oh my God.
I'm ready to look him up. Is that the one who was on the Netflix TV show? I'm gonna look him up.
They were on Upshaws as a couple.
Yeah. Oh yeah, his fine ass.
Yeah,
both of them are fine.
There's another one named, his last name is McIntyre, light skin. Ray Montre. They had a whole little clique. It's DeAndre, Raymond Trey, and then there's another one. They all look light bright.
I know who
Oh,
Raymond
Nick
is.
Blends. Nick Blends. Do you know him from Baltimore? You got to know him, bitch. He's from your stomping ground. Let me look him up.
I
Nick,
hope I don't look him up and it be somebody who I actually know in real
he cut
life.
hair. His name is Nick Blends. He's a barber, but he be singing and being funny. I feel like he would be perfect TV.
Yeah,
Saint Nick Clips. Yeah, he's a Kiki.
yeah, he's a king. Oh yeah, you got the list. You got the
I
list.
would have, he would be good TV. I'm just thinking about people who are just fucking naturally funny, who naturally say shit that's a Kiki, who, you get what I'm saying? I think that's what makes good TV. People who are,
Dominique Morgan.
of course, yeah, of course. That's good TV. That's a good, yeah.
Yeah, can't leave sister out, honey. And I won't be surprised. I won't be surprised if she end up doing some reality shit, honestly.
I think that would be dope. I think it would be, of course. I think that she's funny. I think she's hilarious. Um, yeah, that's what I would think. I would never go on there, but I would think that it would be, I think that it would be entertaining, like a beautiful train wreck.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I feel like for me, I'm too triggery. I'm too I wouldn't want to be on TV fighting and twirling, but I know I'm violent in that way. So I would be so embarrassed if I had to get to the point where I had to twirl somebody and shit. And I feel like people would try you. It's just so much. I just wouldn't do. I would be so embarrassed.
Baby, honey, the shade is if Marsha's plate had a reality show, a lot of people would gag. I think that they would think that you, I think that they would think that your antics on camera, they would expect from me, and me being boring and chill in real life, they would expect from you.
I don't think people who know me would expect me to be as violent as I am. Like, I mean, people who don't know me would expect me to be I'm not somebody, I'm triggered by violence. Like, I'm somebody who that's something I would have to work on.
But see, for me though, if I happen to be a producer or if I were involved in a show like that, um, I know it's real cliche, but I would stay out of the mess. I feel like queer people in general, our personalities tend to be so big and vibrant that the fighting wouldn't be necessary. But of course, with it being dating and the competition that comes along with that and strong personalities, there will be natural clashes. But
but
I
also it's
personally
social media, and I feel like people trying to get their
clout.
15 minutes of fame and clout. I feel like people push buttons just to in front of the cameras, and I just know me. Like, I'm gonna try to I'm gonna be like Tommy. I'm gonna try to pop anywhere it goes. Like, in my brain, I'm thinking, oh, you trying to get some clout, so I'm gonna pop you before you pop me. Let's do it. I'm that type of person.
I think that's why people tend to have conflict. The people who don't like my personality online tend to have conflict because I think people think that I say some of the things that I say for clout, but really it just be shit that I be thinking. No shade. It just be thoughts.
All right. Well, let us know what's going on with y'all in these dating streets. Like, if you are single and you're out here on the apps and exploring, what has been some of your barriers? Also, who would you want to see on the internet right now, of the collective internet personalities? Who would you want to see on a dating site? What would be good TV? Not a dating site, on a dating show. Who would be good TV? Who would be entertaining? Who would you see cutting up? Who would you see, really connecting? And let us know. Hashtag Marsha's Plate.
Hashtag MARSHASPLATE.
Oh my God, I want to thank all of our new patrons this week. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yay, 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 yay. So not only are you helping to sustain this particular podcast, I also donate to other podcasts. I donate to other organizations. I have my finger on the pulse of the community, and I know a lot of grassroots organizations that are doing great work out here. So you're not only helping to sustain us, you're helping to sustain other people in a community, because I put my money where my mouth is. That's just the kind of bitch I am. Community as fuck. So thank you. I really, really appreciate you. And if you have not become a patron, why have you not? You can donate as low as $1 a month. It doesn't matter. Anything helps. Please. Do I have to play Sarah McLachlan and show you puppies? Like, what do I have to do? Do I have to resort to what the white people do to get you to give them money?
Anyway, the link is in the bottom. Back to the show. Former NBA player Royce White, along with Ennis Cantor Freedom, recently came out as transgender as a publicity stunt, declaring that he is trans and identifies as trans, and he is going after a spot on the 2027 WNBA draft. Of course, it's a political stunt, and it is, a political stunt that is kind of challenging the policies, the inclusive policies, gender eligibility policies of the WNBA. And so, to me, and if you don't know, what they're talking about is they have a collective bargaining agreement which states that all players who are women are eligible to play on the NBA. Because this agreement lacks specific on the definition of women, and it details policies of any kind of detail. The details about transgender eligibility is kind of vague. This is a stunt that wants them to kind of force them to clarify the criteria and any kind of explicit rules on transgender athlete participation. That the trans identity, particularly in sports, serves as a key strategy for these Republican motherfuckers. Because if you don't know, Royce White has ran in Minnesota to be a senator, and he lost to Amy Klobuchar. I think that's how you say her name. He lost to Amy, and this is something that Republicans has seen as a wedge issue, something that gets people hyped, something that is highly visible. The trans issue is highly visible in the culture wars. It stirs up public emotion. It even mobilizes, clearly, conservative voters. So I want to know what you think about this foolishness. Do you have any deep thoughts about it? This just feels like antics is this not getting old? Like, it's kind of getting old, but what are your thoughts on this Royce White situation?
Girl, this shit been old, honey. I didn't think we would still be talking about trans people in sports at this point. Honey, I thought that every league, association,
Been banned.
executive order, I thought that everybody would have done what they do and signed their contracts, and either y'all gonna allow trans people or y'all not. You're gonna allow trans kids or y'all not. This hanging this issue in the political spectrum, hanging this issue in front of Americans is just a fucking distraction. And anybody who can't see that is blind. Like, Stevie Wonder is a better vote than you, bitch. Like, I'm so tired of trans people being the scapegoat for people to not want to address real things in their political parties, real things amongst their officials. People don't want to address misogyny and racism and issues that are much bigger, I can't say bigger because no human's issues are smaller than any others. But I will say issues that are more prominent and more common and more real for the average American are issues that are being ignored. Again, like systematic racism or systemic racism, systemic misogyny, um, the flaws in our capitalistic society as a whole. We not even addressing our motherfucking FDA and how we're allowed to eat some of the worst shit in any developed country on this planet. Like, eh, I'm bored with it.
Lettuce is giving the motherfuckers diarrhea.
Honey, and powder is giving bitches cancer. Honey, I'm I'm so tired. It's like I never understood why people were so passionate about bullshit in politics until I actually learned politics. And then I realized that everybody is so upset about bullshit in politics because a woke nigga is an angry nigga. If you're aware of anything regarding how this political system in our country works, if you're aware of the basics, then you know that most of it is bullshit. And it's just frustrating. Royce White, whatever the fuck his name is, um, he's a disappointment. He's an example of a cooning. What I want black folks to realize, the niggas who speak the loudest and the niggas who have created this narrative in politics regarding the trans community are the same niggas who vote against their own interests as black people. They the same niggas that y'all would call Oreos. They the same niggas who be cooning and tap dancing. But you want to clap for these coon and tap dancing ass niggas anytime they saying something negative about trans people. How many times do we have to tell y'all that it's all from the same system? Homophobia and transphobia all comes from the same colonized system as white supremacy. And that's why the anti-black self-hating Negroes are so quick to be Republicans. It's funny. It's funny at this point. But clearly, Royce White is only doing this and only back up to his transgender antics or antics against the transgender community. The only reason he's back up to doing these things, I'm convinced, is for exactly what's happening right now. We're talking about him. People in general are talking about him. And in a way, I think people like you and I feel forced to talk about his dumb ass to protect our community and defend our community.
And another thing I want to call out is the just the hypocrisy. Like they try to make it seem like this is about fairness and this is about, fairness in women's sports and protecting women and fairness. But behind these fucking stunts, these motherfuckers are rarely engaged with the WNBA's actual systematic issue, like low pay or revenue distribution, fair revenue distribution, equitable revenue distribution. So by them focusing entirely on gender identity, they use this kind of like this topic to grab media attention and push a whole weird ass political narrative, but you actually don't give a fuck about the battles that is going on within women's sports. You actually don't give a fuck about the working condition of WNBA athletes. You actually don't give a fuck about the funding for girls sports in high school and college and how much money they put into those programs, because you actually don't give a fuck about women's sports or girls or fairness at all. I really, really hate the hypocrisy around that. It annoys the fuck out of me.
I would argue that they don't even give a fuck about women's sports. I don't even think that they would give a fuck about trans people in women's sports because years ago when it was in the news and they were trying to push the narrative on a mainstream level, when we had a real issue where a trans person was actually being considered to go into the WNBA. I don't know if you remember, but he's transitioned since. And of course, he didn't go into the WNBA because he transitioned. But he is socially transitioned, but he was still playing on the girls' basketball team. This was when I was young, and not really involved in
Alum.
yeah, 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 Kai. Yeah, when this issue initially came up in mainstream media about Kai trying to decide and figure out what route to go, nobody gave a fuck. Now there's not even a trans person being considered for the WNBA, and y'all are making it a fucking issue. So clearly the real issue ain't got shit to do with trans people or the WNBA, and we already know you don't give a fuck about women and people who have uterus because you didn't already prove that you didn't took away their rights for life-saving care.
Yeah. And before the NCAA enacted their complete ban on trans women competing in college sports, so let me say that there is a complete ban. So they were effective in that way. The NCAA president, Charles Barker, testified that there were fewer than 10 transgender athletes across all sports in the NCAA. And we're talking about 500,000 athletes. Out of all of them nationwide, it was less than 10. And none of them were dominating. I'm just trying to explain to you how much of a non-issue this fucking bullshit is. Let's go back to even Utah. Utah Governor Spencer Cox vetoed a House bill in House Bill 11 in March of 2022, and he explicitly noted that out of roughly 85,000 student athletes participating in Utah high school sports, it was only 4 who were trans. And out of those 4 that was trans, it was 1 trans girl playing on a girls' team. Out of 85,000 students, sports athletes, it was only 4, and only 1 was a trans girl. I want you to clock how silly this is. Look how fast this hate and this rhetoric got them to do and move policy to ban kids in Utah from playing sports. And we talk about kids, how quickly they moved on that. But when it comes to other issues that are more pertinent, as Bree pointed out earlier, y'all slow as fucking molasses poured on ice. Fuck out of here. And I feel like the conservatives are gassing y'all up. Republicans have poured millions of dollars in anti-trans messaging during this past motherfucking election, and it has driven conservative voters, and it also has driven normally progressive voters to stay home. But what has it gotten y'all? What has it gotten y'all? Y'all got tariffs and the cost to your consumer as a person. The people they literally are giving bailout to businesses, checks. The Supreme Court, they're ruling they get to get bailout while they ain't paid you back for the price hike. So they're getting 2 payouts from the government for the tariffs, and they already got your money because they raised the prices on shit because of the tariffs. Do you see how they fucking playing you? What else did you get? You got ICE murders. Motherfucker, ICE is out here killing even American citizens and mass deportations. You getting foreign aid cuts to fucking issues around the world who need money, but then we taking our money and sending it to a war that we didn't need to be in Iran.
Don't forget about the ankle bracelets on the Haitians, bitch.
That shit. And these motherfuckers, and I always, when I see them crying and on the internet and I always ask who y'all motherfucking voted for, because half the time they be voting for Trump. But anyway.
And I thank you. Honey, a lot of colored I'll say a lot of colored immigrants tend to be on the conservative leaning side. Sadly enough, you would think since we come from the country of program television that these people would be less colonized than us, but not so much.
And what else did you get? You got the rollbacks of energy and environmental regulations. So you got motherfucking lost farms. You got the diarrhea lettuce. You got your grocery bill still up. And white women and Asian, y'all lost DEI. And I say that because y'all was the motherfucking benefiting from that motherfucking shit, especially white women. But Asians, y'all rate of college admission has gone down after affirmative action. And black folks have not. While y'all was acting like black folks was the beneficiary, our percentages has not went down. Y'all have went down. So y'all went and fought for all this fucking bullshit, and y'all ain't even getting y'all ain't even getting nothing for it. Mass fucking government firings, ineffective Dole shenanigans, and now they came in, honey, Elon done came in and cleared out his shit and went on by his motherfucking business and stepped down and back to his millions, billions, trillions. I forgot about that. Trillions now. So what the fuck did you win? Are you winning? They spent all this money to get y'all motherfucking hype on the trans issue, but are you winning? Are you winning right now? You're not. You're not. You're not winning. Do you feel accomplished? No. You ain't gained shit.
No, but guess what's happening? The trans community, if anything, we've been getting closer during all of this bullshit. We've been learning to get along even when we don't like each other through all this bullshit. We've been still looking out for each other through all this bullshit.
Some of us.
Because we're used to the bullshit. We were, for the most part, unless you're Gen Z, you was already prepared for the bullshit. If you transitioned before a certain time, then you already knew the bullshit. You already lived through the bullshit. You had been fighting the bullshit. So it ain't new to a lot of us, but a lot of y'all who are voting, well, shit, all of y'all who are voting against your best interest, honey, for a lot of y'all, the struggle is new, and we seeing y'all struggle. And people like me are still king, honey, because you know what you got to do. You got to build, boat, pour Donald Trump.
And my thing, are y'all still falling for the grift? Like when y'all see shit like this come up, are y'all falling for it? And I'm not particularly talking about our audience, because I know most of our audience is pro-trans and pro-LGBT and progressive in that way. But I really would like to understand the mindset of people who are still falling for this type of Royce White propaganda. And another thing, the antics that used to work are not working anymore. Like Nick Fuentes done denounced Trump over Israel and saying that he gonna go to fucking Democrats. You got Marjorie Taylor Greene done jump ship. You got Candace Owen done jump ship. You got motherfucking Yara Smith, as we talked about last week, jumping the trad wife ship. So clearly the grips aren't working as effectively as they were. And so are y'all not clocking that these are fucking spins? Like, are y'all not clocking that shit? Y'all not clocking the grip? Anyway.
Girl, I had predicted quite some time ago, right here on this show, that the Republican Party was going to end up falling completely because of the stain that Trump has put on it. And really not even a stain. Trump has just exposed the mess that was already there. And made it more blatant and more obvious. And that has brought a lot of people's true colors out. It's brought a lot of people's true bigotry out and in the open and loud and proud. And we have seen it happening slowly but surely with people, losing their jobs and, losing community and losing family because of the other people around them who haven't never fell for the bullshit. We're seeing it, but I'm still thinking that the Republican Party is gonna fall as far as ever being respectable again. All the respectability bullshit that they had linked to their image and their name, I think that that's dead. And I think that a lot of the people who have denounced Trump and all of the people who are conservative but not dumb enough to be MAGA, all of the people who are bigoted but just not as overtly bigoted as Trump, um, I think that they're going to move to another, some will move to the Democratic Party. I think some will become independent. Um, and yeah, I think they may end up being able to have the Democratic Party. I think we're going to see another transformation in party lines. They may be able to have the Democratic Party because a lot of more liberal, progressive people are moving out of the Democratic Party as well. So
They're
and
seeing the success of people like Zoe
Mondani.
and
Mhm.
but that also is getting getting them to create like a scare. Like it feels like similar to like the Red Scare. We was talking about this earlier. Similar to
Exactly,
how
it's exactly what it is. They
yeah,
replaced yeah, socialism. They replaced what was they fighting over during that time?
the communism and
Communism.
yeah.
They replaced communism with socialism.
And they were making, they would claim to destroy people's careers. They would claim that they were communists. They would claim, I remember Paul Robertson, I remember even Lucille Ball, thinking we talking about celebrities and dating and all that kind of stuff. Somebody at the time when Lucy was hype in her show, they were trying to claim that she was connected to communists.
But you notice that she was a nigger lover anyway because of Ricky Ricardo. I can't think of his real name right now, but because her husband was Cuban.
Desi.
That's the Arnaz.
Yeah. So yeah, I feel like it's similar to that vein where are they just trying to brand people as these things that they have demonized, but what you're not understanding is the actions and the results are what the people are, you get what I'm saying, they're looking at. Like, yo, crime has went down. It's been the lowest that it has been in these states, in these cities that have these amazing Black mayors. When we think about Baltimore mayor, when we think about New York's mayor, when we think about Chicago's mayors, they're having record low criminal shit happening in their fucking cities. They have their impact is being felt by the laymen, by the working class people. And so
I think that they've done one of two things. They've either underestimated the mentality of the average American, or they've overestimated their ability to control people with their old tactics like propaganda and capitalism. You know, so I think that right now they've been trying to do this. They've been trying to put this spin on the idea that woke and progressive and liberal, all these things, libtards, all these things are nasty, ridiculous things when by definition there are things that this country is supposed to stand for. There are things that this country was supposedly built on, you know. But I think that they're realizing that their own tactics ain't going to work. And that's why I think a lot of them are going to try to squeeze their way into the Democratic Party and going to try to buddy up to more progressive and more liberal people, but they still going to be the same trash.
and excuse me. And I also want to point out that there are dynamics in certain cities that are scaring, like patriarchs and misogynists and people who are conservative. I recently read a study that in the major cities like New York, LA, and Chicago, this is not in other parts of the countries, but definitely in the major cities, people under 30, there are some women who are outpacing salary than men. And that has never happened in the history of our country. Like they literally, instead of it being them getting paid this percentage on the dollar, they literally are over. So when we think about these young men who are out here trying to act like they are the breadwinner, and they're the breadwinner, or they're not inheriting the same world that the old school men were coming into with the benefits. It's not the same. It's not the same thing, because women are out here in these particular cities, out here outperforming them, and
And
so
that's why they're lonely. And
that's
that's
why
why
they're
they're lonely
lonely and scared.
because you being one of the sisters, a lot of us have gotten real comfortable, and in many cases more comfortable with living our best lives and laying up with our money and our friends. You know what I mean? And our associates and building business. And we found so much fulfillment in that and so much trauma in dealing with these niggas. They trying to hold on to those old ways, but it ain't the old way no more. We have rights now. We have access now. We
Yeah.
don't need you now. It's a matter of us wanting you. And a lot of men,
And you, instead of you being smart enough to step up to the plate, either on the financial level or step up to the plate in making yourself a better human being to attract a good partner, you are staying lonely and being shady and not actually improving.
yep, yeah. I can't imagine that because a lot of dudes I've been hearing use the excuse that now because women like us have college degrees and we do have access to opportunities and we have built our own ways and created resumes for ourselves. A lot of them are using the excuse that we have become masculine and we want to wear the pants in the relationship and we want to control things and this, that, and the third. Um, but I think, or a lot of guys will say, and I know it happens, but I can't imagine because a lot of guys will complain that women who make a certain amount of money or make over a certain amount of money or women who make more than them don't respect them. That's what a lot of guys will say, and I know in some cases it does happen. I know women for a fact who don't wouldn't respect a man who made less money than them. But I can't imagine that every sensible, eligible single woman who makes more money than you is really going to make that an issue in the relationship.
And I, even that, I think that's fucking bullshit. Not bullshit as in not true, but bullshit in the sense that any other motherfucking competitive moment that your ass is in, you step up to the motherfucking plate. If you playing sports, y'all love to act like men all play sports, men want to play sports. If you playing sports and there's a motherfucker who can shoot better than you, your ass is on that fucking court learning how to shoot, learning how to get your fucking numbers up. When you training, you doing what you need to get better and better and better. Ain't that's the masculine thing to do, to get better and take it as a test so you can get better? Get your motherfucking money up. That's what you need to be fucking doing, instead of complaining the women masculine, they're just doing too much and I'm gonna give up because they're just not trying to be ladies anymore. I'm gonna go back to the 50s when they had no bank accounts and da 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 da. No, step your motherfucking pussy up, nigga. The fuck are you doing? Step up.
Or they can even take the soft boy approach. They don't have to approach it from a traditional masculine perspective. Of course, there are a lot of women who would prefer a man to react like that, but there are also a lot of women who would respect the fact that, let's say, at the end of the day, you can't compete with your girl financially. She just had the resume is too crazy. She maybe lightning hit the bottle and she just happened to be one of them bitches. You know what I mean? And you might never be able to compete with her financially. What happened to the idea that clearly that woman don't need you for finance? So whatever happened to the idea of you bettering yourself in some other kind of way? Whatever happened to the idea that you becoming an asset to this woman emotionally? You becoming the shoulder that she relies on. You becoming the head to direct her, even though she is a boss bitch in life in every other way. You're the person who she can be submissive with because she can trust you. Whatever happens to that? I don't know.
Support.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just a different kind of bitch because I am one of those girls who I've never cared if I make more money than a dude. And realistically, I am a girl who would have a stay-at-home husband. I ain't gonna lie to you. I would have a stay-at-home husband. Of course, he would have to make himself self-resourceful, and he would have things that he would do, but I wouldn't care.
Mm. I mean, I'm a problematic traditional old bitch.
A heterosexual, transsexual who calls himself queer.
I'm not tripping about how much money you make. I ain't tripping about that. But I've been in a situation where I was the leader of the relationship, and I started to have resentment. I have an issue, and it might not be that I what it is I don't like to have to tell you what to do all the motherfucking time. I don't like to be I like the dynamic to be we are partnering. You are running your portion of the race, I'm running my portion of the race, and we're working together. You know how to make moves, I know how to make moves, and it's like a good thing going. I was in a situation where I had to be the fucking president, and they were a fucking employee instead of being my vice president or being I want them to have ideas, bring something to the table.
Like raising a man type shit.
Yeah, I wasn't necessarily raising him, but it felt like if there was any type of advancement, it was my idea. It was okay, I think you should apply for this job because you can da 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 da. Oh, I don't know. Yes, you can. You can do this. Da, 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 da. Let me help you fill out the resume. Let me get you the job. Do you see what I'm saying? Like I'm okay with motivating in a certain sense, but if it's constant, if I'm the fucking oil all the fucking time to get you hyped up, the fuel and the fire to get you hyped up, and you ain't even got it in yourself, or you ain't even got it for me, or I don't really need it because I hype myself up to do. I hated it. I was with somebody who I felt like the love was there, but I hated being like the leader all the fucking time. Like, I don't mind stepping up if I'm the strong person in this moment, but I need you to be the strong person sometimes too. Sometimes I'm going through something. Sometimes I got a downtime. I need you to be a person that can lead as well. I am equal leadership type of person. I want you to pick up the slack when I'm weak. And I do the same for you, but it felt like it was always one-sided. Even when they made more money than me, even when it was more money, it was only more money because I'm a fucking trans woman living in a society that fucking, got obstacles for us. But because this is prior to my degree, and you only making more money than me because you a man who can work in this fucking oil field. But in regards to pushing you forward, I'm way better than you. And my hustle way better than you because I had to come across, I had a lot of barriers. So only reason why you was making more money than me at the time is because you were a fucking man. And I was beholden to whatever relationship this was, but I still was the person motivating. I hated it. It was something in my youth that I realized that I hated and didn't ever want. And I just don't want to be the lead. I want to be an equal. And so, yeah, I'll never be that. I could never be just chilling and you the fucking, yeah, I think of you as a beta. What the red pill niggas call it. Beta.
Yeah, beta.
Beta.
Oh, I don't mind having a beta. I don't mind having a simp. Usually for me, my ass, at some point, if you in love with me, at some point you're gonna become that. No shade.
Yeah.
So for me personally, I don't mind that. But anybody who I can't. What I hear you saying is a couple different things. I hear you saying that you dealt with somebody who lacked motivation as well as wasn't making as much as you, and you was kind of directing them. For me, that's the difference. Like just because you're stay at home or just because you might not have an official job, or whatever, I still don't want to be with somebody who lacks motivation. I I want to be with the type of person, or I would be attracted to the type of person who, even if they were stay at home, like it would be given, trad husband. No shade, like trad hubby, like I'm not just sitting in this house, I'm building shit, honey. You know what I mean? Like ain't no lawn service needed. Ain't no like you cutting out bills. You might be staying home, but you cutting out bills. You cutting out cleaning service. You cutting out whatever, whatever, whatever. So yeah, no, I wouldn't be into somebody who just lacks motivation overall. And of course, for me to be in a situation like that, I would have to be financially stable enough to be able to afford lawn care and cleaning service and all of those things. But also I also understand where you coming from with the whole I don't want to be in charge of every move. And I also hear you talking about, if I'm not mistaken, it sounds like two different things. Sounds like you're talking about I don't want to be in charge of every move. I don't always want to be in charge. I don't always want to be the head. I don't always want to be the decision maker. I'm hearing you say that, but then I'm also hearing you say on another side, if I'm not mistaken, it sounds like you're kind of describing a certain immaturity that I hear a lot of people complain of with especially with the stereotypical masculine man like this. No shade, some of your complaints sound like what cis women typically say about their husbands. Like, if I wasn't here, y'all don't know, like this nigga would fall apart. I think that's the argument why in California, the California laws are the way that they are, and women typically getting half and all of those things, even if they didn't work. Because, I mean, even the numbers show, I always like to run to a statistic, but even the numbers show it, the fact that when men have women partners, trans women included, they live longer.
Yeah. It's for me, it's all about that kind of balance. And when I'm always having to be the leader, it doesn't feel balanced. It
Oh, I
doesn't,
agree. I
yeah,
agree.
I don't like that.
Even even being a more dom leaning girl, because technically I'm switchy dom in my romantic relationships. I feel more comfortable being a dom, but like you said, I don't always want to be in control, regardless of my partner's gender or expression, mannerisms, whatever. Um, yeah, I don't always, I want you to be able to stand on, I don't want you to need me to function and operate properly. Anybody who I'm with, I would want them to be somebody who could function and survive well without me. Like there's somebody who wants me, not somebody who needs me to live to survive. If
Mm,
that makes sense.
yeah, I also trying to think of what other points that I wanted to make on this particular side of the topic. Um, no, that's it.
I don't even remember how we got here, girl. I remember we was talking about Royce White,
We were talking
crazy.
about making more money, and we brought up the balance, how some people are scared of these shifts in traditional relationship dynamics, and it's scaring them and that kind of stuff. That's how we got to it. Anyway, um, yeah. Anyway, let us know what is bringing y'all to the point that y'all are falling for this fucking spin that Royce White and people like him are doing. These fucking political stunts, are they moving you? Like, are y'all not tired? Are y'all not embarrassed? Like, is the trans thing losing its edge? Like,
I got a bigger question for our audience. Do you know anybody? Is there anybody in your life who is still falling for this anti-trans propaganda? Like, is it working for anybody at this point? Is it effective that you know of, or is it just stunt? Or is everybody just seeing it the same way that us trans people are seeing it? A stunt.
Yeah. Hashtag Marsha's Plate.
Hashtag MARSHASPLATE. Girl, honey, you know they coming for Quiet on the Creek, honey. Hold on, shh. I'm talking too loud. Quiet on the Quiet on the Creek. If you watch it on YouTube, I'm Quiet on the Creek, honey. You see me doing the dance, honey. Ow. Yes, I live for Quiet on the Creek. I don't know if I've mentioned that to y'all before. I know I've said it before, but I don't know if I told y'all before that I live for Quiet on the Creek. Um, but they coming for Santana. They are coming for Santana. I don't know if y'all know. I don't know if y'all been seeing the clips. But honey, I've been seeing cisgender, hetero, assuming black people online. Yeah, niggas online, honey. I've been seeing them do they think pieces, honey, and they stitches and they sequences and they reels and all of the things, honey, regarding Santana's Quiet on the Creek, honey. The cis heteros, the Negroes, said that they believe that Quiet on the Creek is more evidence that the LGBTQs are predators, more evidence that we are sexual deviants. They said that Quiet on the Creek is a prime example of why we need to be shackled. Well, they might not have said that part out loud, but honey, if you got as much discernment as me, then you know that they think our asses should be shackled. Probably think we should be cast somewhere. Anyway, they have been using Santana's lyrics in the song, which, to be honest, I believe that the first verse is very clearly alluding to possibility of the person being DL. But it doesn't solidify it. You know, Santana could have just been describing a discrete relationship with an openly gay or openly queer or openly bisexual man. But what I can tell you for fact is that that second verse is talking about cisgender women creeping with other women's husbands, creeping with other women's brothers. That second verse is talking about his experience and being friends with you cisgender women and how y'all be quiet on the creek with other people's men and how y'all be quiet on the creek with old men that y'all don't want nobody to know that y'all be messing with. I mean, the lyrics is there. The lyrics is there. They not gonna change. You can go read that second verse word for word. He is speaking in third person. He is speaking from observation. So clearly, the song is not intended to be purely about down low men as far as the LGBTQ plus community. So you can erase that narrative. Also, it is obvious for anybody who is aware of how the song even came along. It started as a TikTok sound. A TikTok sound that was created while Santana and Carisha was talking about fish, and he was talking about his experience growing up on the lake, going fishing with his peoples. Anyway, Diamond and everybody out there, why y'all think they coming for Santana? Why they coming for us? Shit, they not just coming for Santana, honey. They using him as an example to say that we all predators.
Well, I think that this is a symptom of the conservative place that we are culturally now. I think that when we think about even like the Sydney Star situation, that is one incident that is a very rare incident. It's very rare that you have incidents with trans people molesting kids. It's usually a cisgender man who identifies straight. Even messing with the little boys, even
Little boys.
they usually identify cisgender men as straight. And the girls that are being little girls that are being molested, usually cisgender men. the people who are being trafficked, they're usually being trafficked by cisgender men. It is very rare that a trans person is the person that is doing the victimizing. Now, that doesn't make somebody who is doing this not need to skirt accountability. I absolutely throw the book at them. But the conservative nature and the kind of this kind of heightened topic of trans people, like we were just talking about with the Royce White situation, they will exacerbate and make this kind of hyperbole of what's happening with this one incident. You see, this is how they are. They're demonic. This is how they are. They, as I have said multiple times, they used to make commercials anti-homophile, because they didn't call them homosexuals before. They used to call them homophiles. They used to make commercials that they would run that would say they were trying to convert your children into this demonic, unnatural behavior. Like this is just going back. This is reverting to be just a symptom of conservatism. That's just what it is. And so this is why when we say a lot of times the most marginalized people are the canaries in the coal mine. So when we think about Black women, poor Black women, marginalized Black women, trans women, Black trans women, when we think about these people, and we were telling you 10, 15 years ago that, yo, this is going to start affecting y'all. This kind of a conservative mindset is you think that they were just going to stop at trans bans? You think that they were just going to stop at us? Do you think that they were just going to stop at Roe versus Wade? If you let them keep gaining ground, they are going to take it all. We've seen this. They will block us from getting Supreme Court Justice Hap on the bench. But then when it's their time, honey, we're packing the bench with everything. While we be non-aggressive, they're going to be aggressive. And if they can use somebody like the trans group or somebody like the queer group, somebody like Black folks, whatever it is to galvanize their base, they're going to do it. And I think that that's what's happening. They're galvanizing their base, and their shit is getting boring. So they're going to switch to something else.
Girl, my mind is just still blown. And you saying all that, it's just like my mind just goes right back in that circle. Like, it's niggas that's still choosing to stay on the plantation even though they got their freedom papers. Let me break it down. I don't know why niggas in America, not talking about non-American Black people, not talking about other people of the diaspora, American-born niggas. I don't like the word FBA, but if we being technical, I'm talking about you niggas. I don't understand when you have ancestry whose blood is in the dirt of this country, whose blood is in the brick and mortar of the White House. I don't understand why you niggas don't have the common sense to know that the liberal and the progressive is where you need to be. I still don't get it. I will never. Bitch, I'm supposed to be somewhat of an expert or something in psychology or something or whatever, right? And I am still confusion on why people. Now, I understand that we have niggas who are out here who are getting paid to be anti-Black and racist. Not saying I agree with it, not making excuses for it, but that I can wrap my mind around. Okay, maybe this is survival for you, throwing your people into the bus. I understand. I can't understand nothing else. No, I can't wrap my mind around nothing. I can't understand the people who just want to go against the grain and be contradictory. And I don't understand that when it involves something as serious as your rights, because I seemingly have people in my family who are like that. It's like you just like you think that being wrong is a flex. Like that's your personality. Just you're just always the bitch that's wrong about every damn thing. We go to you and ask your advice on shit so we know what we shouldn't be doing. We know what we shouldn't believe. You know what I mean? I don't get it. I don't get it, Diamond. I don't get why niggas is still playing a role in their own destruction. Like we're free, y'all. We free. You don't have to vote with massa. You don't need white adjacency to be successful. You don't have to go against niggas. You don't have, it's not necessary. It's not necessary. Yes, we know that niggas are still out here getting lynched and they pretending it's suicide, even though people's legs and shit be broken. How the hell is you climbing the tree to hang yourself if your legs don't work? We know that niggas are still being shot on camera. We know that police are still dragging us, dumping us, flipping us, rubbing us down. Honey, it's live in 4K on any streaming platform you can find, including the one you're currently watching. That's on. Honey, we can see niggas being treated unfairly, and niggas still haven't learned that y'all belong over here in the group with the smart niggas. Like what happened to the days on the plantations when we knew and we understood who was the smart niggas, who was the fast niggas, who was the strong niggas. We understood everybody's talents and what they was good for. Nowadays, we got so many black people who will look at the dumb nigga and be like, "Oh yeah, we going to use him to be the smart nigga. We going to say he the smart nigga." And I had 50 million excuses for why he's the smart nigga when clearly you could see that he never was. Diamond, I'm still confused. I'm still wrapping my mind around all of it. I'm still wrapping my mind around the idea that there are American-born niggas in America who voted for Donald Trump, even though the numbers weren't as high as they try and make it out to be or want us to believe they were. There's still niggas who did it.
But I also, even people like Saucy, people like Funky Dineva, people like who identify as gay men. I also want to call out the ones, not them particularly, but the ones who love to align with cisgender people when it comes to being anti-trans and trying to be negative about us. I'm always like, you know they're gonna turn on you. It's soon. You may think it's about us now, but you still not in the number. You still a sexual deviant. You still a fucking pariah of the community. You still are. You know what I'm saying? They still think you are the scum of the fucking earth.
He's still too stupid enough to realize that we've been disliking Jussie ass, honey. We've been not trusting Jussie ass, and they didn't pick apart none of Jussie's motherfucking records that talk about DL men, honey. They didn't pick apart none of Lee Daniels' films. Nothing written by any other gay man who doesn't present like a damn tranny. Shit. Funky Dineva too. Honey, that was Freudian, but that worked. Funky Dineva, Santana, y'all are all haggis that are known to wear women's clothes and dress up in drag, and y'all wonder why y'all are two of them haggis that get dragged the most. Do you think it's a coincidence that y'all dragons get dragged the most by the straight people? It's because they seeing us all as the same thing, you big dummy. They think that people like Diamond and I, they're stupid enough to believe or try to force themselves to believe because they know innately that that's not true. Instinctively, they know it's not true. They see us as women too. But their bigotry allows them to put us all in the same category and us being essentially niggas that tuck our dicks, who look like women or dress like women, wear women's clothes, women's hairstyle.
Hmm.
So damn dumb. When you literally throwing yourself under the bus when you throw black trannies under the bus. Because a lot of people think that you're literally, I swear to God, up until today, up until I was researching what was going on with the Quiet on the Creek, honey, even my boyfriend thought that Saucy Santana was trans. And says, non-binary, right? They're not non-binary. My boyfriend been calling Saucy Santana she this whole time, and of course I never catch it because a lot of times I call Saucy Santana she too. I call a lot of boys she, a lot of feminine people she. Those are acceptable pronouns for them. They're fine with that. But it was until today that he found out that Saucy Santana identifies as a gay man.
Yeah, I think it's a common thing until he's interviewed and somebody asks, "What's your pronouns?" I'm a boy. I'm not. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I feel like this is just like I said. This is just the symptom of the conservative nature that we are in. What do y'all think about what's going on with this? Quiet on the Creek song and how they are spinning it to make it seem like we're the normal sexual deviants that we are in their brain. What do y'all feel about that? Hashtag Marsha's plate.
I want to add another question to that, Diamond. I
Mhm.
want to also ask our people, do y'all think that since we're speaking about Santana, do y'all believe that Santana and Carisha's trans allyship, trans allegiance that they've been trying to curate, do y'all think is performative or authentic? Hashtag MARSHASPLATE.
Gimme euphoria, more than peace of mind. It's the joy and space to change the tide. Gimme euphoria, more than peace of mind. It's the joy and space to change the tide. Gimme you a feeling and a high you never come down from. Whoa.
What is bringing you euphoria this week?
Oh, girl, honey, fruit salad. Well, I really ain't got no fruit salad. I got some strawberries left downstairs and some grapes left from the last time I went grocery shopping. And of course, I don't want them to go bad, so I'm going to soak them, honey. I don't know what y'all call it, but here, unless you got at least three fruits that you put together, it ain't no fruit salad. You just got whatever the fruits is. So long story short, I'm fixing grapes and straw. We would say it like I'm fixing grapes and strawberries tonight. Oh, girl. And here it would be understood that, you just sat them and chilled them in some sugar and let them create their own little natural syrup, honey. You just ate it. It's a fruit cup with a little bit of shit. It's a fruit cup with only two salads and I mean two fruits in it. But I'm excited about that. Of course, Fat Girl Chronicles still exists. I don't think that I told y'all the euphoria that I've been experiencing lately with two horror movies that have been released recently. I don't think I've talked about the back rooms or I don't think I mentioned the back rooms or I'm drawing a blank on or Obsession. Horror movies that have been
You did.
breaking the box. I have I have talked about them.
Yeah, because I didn't know about it until you said something.
Well, honey, I'm still on those horror flicks. I ain't got nothing that then distracted me from that since. Yeah, I'm still getting into that, but it also brings me euphoria. It reminds me that those are two YouTubers. So, yeah.
That made the
And
film.
yeah. Two YouTubers have been the examples of breaking Hollywood
Mm.
this year, in so many ways, by creating horror films, by being young, all of the things. So I'm excited. I'm excited that people like us are going mainstream, and it brings me euphoria to continue to see people come from social media and develop careers beyond just the social media apps and streaming service. I like it. Let's bring you euphoria, Simon.
I so y'all know I think I'm Snow White, bitch. When it comes to the animals in my apartment complex. So of course I've talked about the kitty cats before. So I don't want no cats in my house, but I feed the cats that are like strays. And so they, I'll go outside and sit on the like stairs and they'll just come around me. So I look like I'm the cat lady of the of the apartment complex. So there was one cat that I really, really love, but she be acting funny. But recently she's been letting me pet her. So cool. There's one that always let me pet him. The one of the boys always let me pet him. And then there's some that are like, always funny acting and shady and aggressive. And then there's some that's just kind of neutral. So anyway, that's the cats. But I also have 5 possums that are in my complex. So it is a adult boy and girl, and they have 3 babies. And so recently I see at nighttime, I see them all the fucking time. But they never let you get close to them, baby. They hits it. But this one time when I was out there playing with the cats, I come around the corner and one of the babies is eating the cat food, the dry cat food. And when I pull up, instead of her running, she freezes because if you know possums, they naturally have a chemical in their body that kind of sends them into shock. So they kind of like pass out or whatever. They don't get aggressive. They kind of just be like, oh, scared and shit. And so she didn't run away. She just sat there kind of shaking a little bit. And I was like, oh no, don't be scared of me. Don't be scared. And so eventually I was able to give her some of the blueberries that I had, and she let me rub her. And she wasn't scared. She started eating the blueberries and just chilling and being cool. So I was like, bitch, where out, Dr. Doolittle? And it just felt so sickening. And I was like, oh, and then you know how you ask like Google or something, be like, hey, so what does possums like to eat? Like what do I need to give them? You know how you ask or whatever. Baby, Miss Google said, no, leave them possums the fucking alone. Leave them alone. They need to be scared of humans. They don't need to be friendly with humans. They need to be scared. That is how they survive. They are wild. They need to be able to be scared, because if you get them used to fucking humans and acclimated to humans, somebody who might not be as nice as you will harm them. Kick them and hit them with brooms or whatever. So no, stay away from them damn possums. Leave them alone. They supposed to be scared of you. They didn't say it in that words.
Well, girl, honey, Google must have missed out on the memo that people have been domesticating possums.
Yeah, they have, but you're not supposed to do that with the wild ones. Like if you find one and they done got abandoned by their parents, or their parents got ran over by a car or something, yeah, go ahead and take them in or do what you need to do. But if they out and their parents is chilling and they out and free, leave them the fuck alone. That's basically what they were telling me. But at least I got to touch them, and I'm gonna leave them alone and not bother them and continue to play with my cats. But that's what's bringing me euphoria this week, that it at least ate my blueberries and let me rub his back, the baby. So let us know what is bringing y'all euphoria this week. And yeah, make sure you are trying to find joy somewhere in your life, even in the small things. Don't let all the big stresses of this fucking world and country and politics, don't let that dominate your joy and stamp out your joy. Find something that you love. Find something that brings you happiness, and hone in on that, sometimes even more, just when you really, really need it. And yeah, let us know what's bringing you euphoria, and we will see y'all next week.
Hasta luego.
Bye, y'all.
Well, that's it. Thank you for coming and getting a taste of Marsha's plate. You can listen to us on iTunes and SoundCloud. Make sure you leave a review because we really need those 5 stars, y'all.
And go like our Facebook page and leave some comments. We will be posting exclusive content every Thursday, so you definitely don't want to miss out.
You can also follow us on Twitter and any other social media site at Marsha's Plate. If you'd like to donate or advertise with us, hit us up at diamondstylz@gmail.com. That's diamondstylz@gmail.com.
And that's it for us, y'all. Bye.
Bye-bye.
You gonna say bye, Mia?
Oh, bye, y'all.
Every little thing's gonna be